I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
そう、文字通り死んでると思います。
Before you inspect
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant, information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
皆様、こんにちは。ミサトです。今回もヒットマン3やっていきたいと思います。今回の舞台はイギリスのダートムーアでございます。ターゲットはアレクサ・カーライル。前回ね、ドバイ編の冒頭でヘリで逃げてしまった人ですね。今回は、取り逃した彼女を排除するのが目的でございます。そしてもう一つね、コンスタントの調査資料を手に入れるという目標がございます。この2つのミッションをこなしていきたいと思います。プランニングはですね、ロックピック持っていこうかなと思っております。さあ、では早速行ってみましょう。
Thornbridge Manor, the Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
さあ、ということで始まりました。イギリスダートムーア、大きなお屋敷。ここがね、プロビデンスの発祥の地らしいですね。お、
I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
はい、ということで、ミッ
famous
ションで
private
ござい
investigator
ます。
summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
ということで、探偵がなぜか、呼ばれておりますね。まあ、それを調べると、まあ、うまくね、ターゲットに近づくことができるんじゃないかな。ということで、まあ、探偵をつけると。探偵を尾行する。47さん。なんで、お屋敷に呼ばれているのかっていうのが、まずは知りたいとこですね。まずはね、彼になりすますのが一番いいんじゃないかなと思うんですよね。やはりね。まあ、チャンスを伺いましょうか。うん、マダム・カーライルに会うと言っているので、スムーズにいけそうな感じですね。But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this. And I dare say I don't like it at all. ということで、あっち行っちゃったから、私も行きましょう。ちょっと今、警備の人が、おっとっと。
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me, said she understood the position I was in.
So I
We had a
just
really
need to
good
check.
talk about
That's a
it.
bit excessive.
What did I tell you?
ボディチェックしてますね。じゃあ、家にルート、入るルート2つあるって言ってましたけど、もうその通り、さすが探偵ですね。早速入って、ここにちょっと隠れてましょうか。さあ、探偵入ってきた。あとは、マダムに会う前に、なんとか彼の服装を奪いたいとこですね。こっち来ました。チャンス。危ない危ない。危ない危ない。ちょうど人が通ってたね。危なかった。さて、意外とね、ちょっと見つかりやすいんですよね。さあ、そしてターゲット来てますね。
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
さあ、ということで、事件現場に案内をしてくれるそうです。執事さんのね、後をついていきましょう。
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
そう、文字通り死んでると思います。
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
はい、ということで、
A locked room murder mystery 47. I trust
さあ
you'll get
こ
to the
こ
bottom
で
of
ね、
this.
ザカリーというね、
Why don't you use your camera
彼
to
です
scan
ね
the dead body
彼が
47?
死んでしまったと。で、どうやら自殺なんじゃないかみたいな話をしてましたけど、マダムはね、他殺だ、自殺ではないと、言っているようなので、真相を突き止めてくれということで雇われたようですね、探偵は。さあ、ということで、ここからは探偵47さんがこの事件を暴いてみせる。まずは部屋の物色、ザカリーの遺書。
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
さあ、遺書が本物なのか。そこをね、筆跡をね、まずはサンプルをゲットできたと。さあ、あともう一つ。パソコンも調べちゃう。
Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
新しいものを購入してるのにね、自殺するっていうのはなかなかないですよね。で、これがご遺体ですね。で、カメラ、コインじゃない、カメラ。ちょっとここもスキャンして、手がかりをね、いくつか残してるので、それを調べていきましょう。で、遺体もスキャンしてみましょう。
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
ということで、さすが47さん。その道のプロというかね、もう状況からどういう状態なのかということをね、もう推理しちゃいましたね。毒だろうと。
A hidden door.
隠し扉がここにありますと。もうさらっと開けましたけど。で、ここに屋敷の見取り図。
A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
ということで、こういう隠し扉がね、この屋敷にはあるみたいですね。ということで、一通りね、彼の部屋は調べましたので、まずはね、執事さん、ファンズビーに報告をしに行きましょう。そして、情報をね、聞き取りましょうかね。終わりましたよ。
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I've prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
はい、ということで、アリバイをね、確認して、誰が犯人なのかというのをね、突き止めたいと思います。
Motive means an opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
さあ、ということで、ファンズビさんはね、アリバイを自分から言ってくれましたけど、他にもね、容疑者はおりますので、それをね、アリバイを確認しに行きましょうか。
How's everything coming
まず
along?
は
Very
彼
well, Mr. Ferguson.
Patrick
Make sure
Carlisle,
you focus on your work.
can you tell me where
I
you
don't need
were
one more
yesterday
maid crying
evening?
in the kitchen.
Shit,
So watch
it's that
yourself around
sneaky
young Miss
butler,
Patrick.
isn't it?
Don't
He
worry
ratted
about
me
me.
out.
ちょっと後ろがうるさいけど
I think
Give some
Patrick is giving you a
privacy.
really hard.
Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde,
金髪の可愛い
Rosie, for an
ロージ
evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexia used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
まあねファーンズビーさんはねアリバイが確かにないんですよね
Just remembered I went for a stroll behind the greenhouse last night. Maybe that's
で
where it is.
彼もね主張してますけどパトリック・カーライル疑いありですねこのアリバイが本当なのかというのをねまあ調べていくのがいいかなと思います一つずつ潰していこうかな
No need to panic.
そうしましたらどこだったかな多分ね一つずつ潰した方が分かりやすいと思うのでここによいしょここにですねアリバイでね、ロージーというね、スタッフと一緒にいたって言っているので、本当なのかというのをね、そのスタッフに聞きたいと思います。彼女ですね。
Stick to your own kind. You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
なんか悲しい感じになってますけどさあ、聞いてみたいと思うけどなんかちょっと喋ってると字幕がねかぶっちゃうのでちょっと待とう、まあ、この人が、本当にね一緒にいたっていうのであればアリバイが成立するという感じですね
You'll be fine, Robbie. Kids are great.
Okay.
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick.
Oh.
We met after dinner and I went home at 1 a.m. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, he makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
ということで
He's an idiot. That's what he...
これを見るとアリバイ確定しましたね。ロージーは、彼と一緒にいたということでアリバイが成立でございます。ありがとうね。よし。では次はどうしようかな。お。彼もね。聞いてみましょうか。エドワード・カーライル。
Can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? his plants, mother, and the staff, all the company he had. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? The mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
はい、ということで、エドワード・カーライル、彼は昨夜はね、お兄さんと一緒にね、飲んでたっていう話をね、しておりましたね。グレゴリー。そのアリバイもね、見たいと思いますけど。お、これ、スキャン。これは、追悼の、かな？葬式のね、メモですね。筆跡はザカリーの遺書と一致しないので、まあどうやら違う、彼は違うみたいですね。筆跡とは。一致しないということですね。じゃあ、その、兄。こんにちは。
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
You're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective.
気になりますとも、探偵ですから。
I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger ball. He's better off dead. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
はい、ということで、グレゴリー・カーライル、アリバイ確定しましたね。まあ、弟と一緒に飲んでいたということで、グレゴリーと、エドワードはアリバイが確定したということですね。あれ？あ、いたいた。
Emma Carlisle.
では、エマ。
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
ということで、エマ・カーライル、彼女はちょっとね、アリバイ確定していないので、まだ疑わしいですね。まあ、ひどい片頭痛持ちのね、グレゴリーの妻なので、まあ、頭痛持ちって言ってましたもんね。まあ、頭痛で、また、ちょっとベッドに入ったという風に言っているので、まあ、それはちょっとまだアリバイは確定していないということになりますね。で、もう一人あっち行っちゃったかな？あ、いた。
Rebecca Carlisle.
レベッカ・カーライル。
Can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
さあ、ということで、レベッカ・カーライル。彼女はまだアリバイが確定しておりませんね。彼女は、アリバイはね、電話会議をしていたみたいなことを言ってましたね。オンライン会議。なので、それが本当なのかというところですね。で、ファーンズビーがちょっと、ザカリーの部屋から出てくるとこ見たよっていうことを言ってましたね。さて、まだ確定していないので、そうしましたら、ここから先はね、現場というか、この屋敷を調査して、アリバイをね、確定させていきたいと思います。もう確定してる人もいますけども、まだ確定していない方々。そうしましたら、まずはファンズビーさんのアリバイを行こうかな。ファンズビーさんのね、オフィス、ここ。鍵かかってるけど、ロックピックで開けちゃうと。さあ、来ました。さあ、ファンズビーのリスト。これを見ると、いろんなスケジュールがね、偽葬儀のね、スケジュールとかが書いてあると。筆跡はね、遺書と一致しませんね。ということらしいです。さあ、これなんだ？なんか、置いてありますね、暖炉に。ザカリーの日記。
He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
さあ、ということで、ちょっと怪しいものを見つけてきましたね。お、そしてここにあるのは致死性の毒。
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
ということで、ファンズビーさんはね、証拠を持っているので、犯人となりうるんですけども、ファンズビーはね、やっていないと。毒の種類も違いますので、違います。ただ、まだね、アリバイがね、確定してない人たちがいるので、彼らのね、部屋もね、調べていきたい。 そうしましたら、どっちだっけな、こっちにしようか。
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
レベッカの部屋行きたいと思います。今ならいけるかな。ちょっとね、見られないように。あ、そっか、マスターキーゲットしたから大丈夫だ。さあ、レベッカの部屋ですね。6じゃなくて、カメラ。ノートとかね、スキャンしてみました。まあ、まずはパソコンをね、調べるのが一番良いのではないかな。
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
さあ、ということで彼女は電話会議をしていたようです。ということでアリバイがね、彼女は確定しました。オンライン会議していたという証拠がね、見つかったと。そしてここね、また秘密の通路があったりします。まあ、ここのぞくと、お、あ、ちょうど、まあ、ここから覗くこともできますね。覗きや47。まあこれはね、別に。なんかいろいろ揉めてますけど、まあまあ。さあさあ、では次ね、さっさと行きたいと思います。そうしましたら、今度はグレゴリーとエマのお部屋を調べようかなと思います。こっちかな。ここなので、開けましょう。さあ、来ました。まずは調べていきたいと思います。カメラ。まずはここ。靴がありますね。スキャン。エマとグレゴリーの部屋で見つかった靴と足跡。なんだこの靴はと。で、ここに何か落ちてますね。温室の鍵のキーホルダー。
What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
そう、温室の鍵を持っているのか？さあ、そして、ここですね。
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
さあ、ということで衝撃の事実が判明しましたけど、これはもう確定か？そしてなんかここにブルドッグの杖があるんですけど、これをね、持っていくとちょっといいところがあるんですけど、これでね、まあファーンズビーは、まあ、容疑者として候補というかね、容疑者になっておりますので、まあカーライルですね。で、今エマとグレゴリーのお部屋をね、調べましたが、まあもうほぼほぼエマが怪しいという感じになっておりますね。で、そうしましたら、まあこれでもいいんですが、まあ、ここ行かなくてもいいんですけど、せっかくなので謎のスイッチをね、この杖で押すと、なんと隠し扉が出現して、ここにね、なんか手紙があります。
Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlisle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlisle Empire instead of himself. Interesting. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlisle that Zachary committed suicide. Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
さあ、ということで、まあ彼がね、自殺をしたんじゃないかという証拠としてね、出せるような情報も出てきましたと。まあ自殺ではないんですけどね。まあ、なんでいろんなパターンがあると。でまあファーンズビーにこれで報告をしてもいいんですけれども、そうだな。もう一個ちょっと気になるところに行ってみようかと思います。温室の鍵のチェーンがね落ちていたので、温室に何かあるんではないかと。開けられるかな。ちょっと見られると怪しまれるので。さあ、ここの温室に何かがあるのではないかと思いますね。実験器具は。そしてこれは
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled, 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning.
さあ、ということで、まだ狙ってるみたいですね。
Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby.
彼女はね、ここで毒をね調合していたんではないかと。まあこれで、エマがまあ犯人ということが分かりましたね。でまあここに毒のねお花とか、あったりしますので、まあ間違いなくね、まあ彼女ではないかなということで、これでね全ての証拠が、揃いましたので、これで、ファーンズビーに報告することができますね。なので、早速ね戻って報告をしに行きましょう。さあ、でこれいろんなパターンがあるんですけど、今回はどうやってまあミッションがねターゲットの暗殺と、まあ、調査資料をね手に入れることなので、47さんはじゃそのね目的を達成できればいいんですね。ファンズビーさん。
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
謎は解けました。真犯人をカーライルにお伝えしましょう。
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
ということで、ここがマダムのお部屋。
Your detective skills have gained you access to the lion's den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
さあ、ということで。
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please,
真相をね、お話ししたいと思います。さあ、ここ、どうするか。本来であればね、エマが真犯人ですが、ここはね、あえて、ファンズビーを犯人にしちゃいましょう。
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I'm sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
さあ、ということで、ここで報酬、もらってもいいんですけども、ここはね、素直に欲しい調査ファイルをくれと言っちゃい
I
ま
want
す。
the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the constant.
そう、コンスタントのファイルが欲
That
し
must
い。
mean you're...
そう。そうです。私
I
は、
expected you'd show up.
そうです。暗殺者です。
But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it.
お、
How are you, sir?
The file you want is in the safe. Good hunting. I need some privacy. Thank you.
ということで、素直に、あっさりと、アーサー・エドワーズ、通称コンスタントのファイルをゲットすることができました。報酬としていただきました。ありがとう。そう、彼女はね、まあ、始末しに来た暗殺者ということを明かしたんですが、まあ、敵の敵ということで、まあ、他の目的で来たんだなと納得しちゃっているので、まあ、もちろんね、逃すわけないんですけど、まあ、彼女はね、もう自分は47さん殺されないと思っているんですが、まあ、その通り、47さんは何もしません。はい。で、ファーンズビー、執事のファーンズビーを犯人にね、仕立て上げたのは、まあ理由があって、まあ、つまり、本当の真犯人のエマね。本当の真犯人のエマは野放しということですよね。
Greetings, sir.
で、エマはね、確か、なんか次のターゲットが決まっているという話をしていましたよね。なので、47さんは何もしません。まあ何もしないというか、まあちょっと一個やることあるかな。まあまずは、ちょっと様子を見ましょうか。
Oh, stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
Why don't we get
ここで
any
待
kind
とう
of
かな。
explanation? It's bloody rude. That's
そ
what
のう
it
ち
is.
ね、
Making us
あ、
come
降り
here
てきた、
to
降りて
play
き
a
た。
funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
ちょっと
I'm
待ちま
telling
しょう。
you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
来ましたね。さあ、と言って、彼女はベルを鳴らしてね、家族を全員招集しましたね。
In my own time, Gregory. I'll wait till everybody is here. Right, let's get started. I want to keep this short. I know you have a lot of questions. Some I will answer now. The rest will have to wait. First, Zachary's sudden death is a great tragedy, but also a great inconvenience, as it happened just now. I'm dealing with the situation in a discreet and efficient way, and I expect your cooperation in all related matters. Secondly, the arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am still alive. I expect you all to act your part. Last, as you all know, I have a lot on my plate and need to focus on sorting everything out, so please do not disturb me with your petty concerns. You are all adults, and as part of the elite, you will eventually have to deal with difficult situations like this. It comes late for most of you, but this is a chance for you to show what you are made of. That will be all.
さあ、ということで、お話も聞けたので、この後みんな解散するんですけど、さあ、47さん、最後に1個だけやることがありまして、さっきの音質、例の音質ですね。エマがね、ここで毒を調合していたのではないかと。ちょっとレンチをもらいまして。ここのね、毒をね、実験道具、壊れているので、修理してあげましょう。これでね、毒を製造することができますね。お花もあるのでね。なので、47さんはここから先何もしないので、どうしよう、隠れてよっか。後ろにいても全然怪しまれないんですけど、ここでね、ちょっとしばらく待ちましょうかね。さあ、来ました。エマ・カーライル。修理しといたんで。さあ、毒を調合してますね。ということで、次なるターゲット、つまりアレクサのもとへ行くようですね。よいしょ。じゃあ47さんも戻りましょうか。というか、彼女のね、後をつけていきたいと思います。もちろんさっきのね、調査ファイルをもらった段階で、ベランダに出たね、アレクサを始末しても全然大丈夫なんですけど、面白いので、あえてこの方法を取りたいと思います。真犯人の行動が気になりますもんね。さあ、ここに戻ってきましたね。なんか怪しい行動をしているような気がするな。入れた。決定的な証拠取っちゃった。これは別に誰にも見せませんけど、探偵47なんでね、決定的な証拠は取んないと。入れちゃいましたね。毒をね。じゃあここにアレクサが来るのかな。お、来ました。
Staging your own death? A major, grandiose cock-up, I'd say.
Be quiet, Gregory.
It shows you're only human, after all. I never would have guessed.
パシャ。取んなくてもいいんですけど。証拠取ったとこ。証拠取っとこ。ということで、お、なんか通信状態が。ダイアナさん、大丈夫かな？ということで、ミッション完了でございます。ので、もう早々にここは立ち去りたいと思います。そうだな、脱出、あ、そうだ、さっきの温室にね、そういえば、鍵がありましたね。取るの忘れてた。まあ、真犯人のエマにやってもらいました。そして、ここにボートの鍵がね、ありますので、この鍵でね、脱出をしたいと思います。まあ、真犯人はね、野放しですけど、47さんは別に関係ないので、ターゲットを排除できれば OK なので、エマの手助けをね、してあげましたと。さあ、ということで、あ、どうしよう。ボートは、あ、ボートそこだった。よいしょ。ちょっとね、屋敷の中と外結構広いので、いつもわかんなくなっちゃうな。じゃあせっかくなので、ボートから脱出したいと思います。ちょっとね、ダイアナさんとちょっと通信状態が悪くなったのが気になりますね。はい、ということで、今回もね、ミッションを完了いたしました。では、今回はこの辺で終わりたいと思います。皆様、ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now?
Over here! Cover me!
Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't. Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I'll look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.